Hey, welcome back everybody. Hey, you know what? We can create really interesting photo collages in Photoshop. Look at this wildlife photo collage right here. I'm going to show you exactly how to do everything you see right in this photo. Don't be afraid. It's really not that hard to do. Anybody can do this, okay? Let me show you exactly how to create the exact image you see right in front of you right now. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. First of all, I need to import all the images that are going to be in my photo collage. Okay, so I'm going to come right up here to File and go to Open. And then I have some of my images right here that I'm going to use for my image. I'm actually going to hold down the Shift key on the keyboard, and I'm just going to, let's see, I'm going to need my elephant, I'm going to need my fisher, my monkey, my tiger, and my zebra. Okay, and by holding down the Shift key, we can select more than one image to import into Photoshop. After you do that, release the Shift key, and then come down here and just click Open. Photoshop will open all of those images. Okay, we're going to start off with the fisher image right here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this. All right, so the first element that I want to add to this image, I want to go ahead and add, let's say we can add the elephant. Here's the elephant, okay? Now, this is what it looks like when it's completed. I just want to show you one more time, okay? All right, let's go ahead and start off with the elephant. We need to get this elephant over to the fisherman picture over here. So all we can do is just select the Move tool, click on this image with the elephant, and just drag that over, right over to the other image. And when you're over there, just release the mouse, and that'll place it right over there. Next, all we have to do, I'm going to go ahead and rotate, actually shift that image just to flip it horizontally, I think, just to get it to go in the other direction. There we go. I'm going to come up here to Edit and come down here to Free Transform because the elephant is obviously too big. We won't be able to see anything else in the image if we see this big elephant. So what I'm going to do is resize this elephant. To do that, I'm going to come up here. I've already selected Free Transform. Next, I'm going to come up here to View and come down here to Fit on Screen. Okay, that way I can see my transformation handles. Okay, at all four corners and also in the middle here. I'm going to hold down the Shift key on the keyboard so the image maintains its aspect ratio while I resize the image. I'm going to hold that down and just bring that down over here. And let's see, we're going to place that right about, let's say that looks pretty good right there. I'm going to go ahead and release the Shift key and go ahead and press the Enter key on the keyboard to confirm that, okay? Now, go over to the Layers palette in the image and look what happened. Since we've imported, since we've dragged that elephant over to this image, well, it automatically creates a new layer for us, okay? Look at that. So we can actually go ahead and import another image. I can actually go over here to Window and come down here and say I want to select Monkey, PSD, and that'll bring the monkey forward, and then I can select the Move tool and drag the monkey over to the image, to the fisherman image. And you can see it makes its own layer, so it becomes layer number 3. I'm going to come up here to Edit and come down here to Free Transform, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hold down the Shift key and then resize the monkey to fit it into my collage. And let's see, it looks pretty good right there. I'm probably just going to go a little bit larger here. That looks good. Maybe a little bit larger. Okay. Looking good right about there. Just doing some guesswork here. Okay, cool. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and to confirm that, I'm going to press the Enter key on the keyboard. Okay, let's go ahead and get the other images into our fisherman image here so we can start creating our collage. All right, I'm going to go ahead and come up here to Window and come down here and select Zebra. That'll bring the zebra image forward. I'm going to select the Move tool, which is already selected. I'm going to click on the image and drag it. I'm going to click and drag it over to the fisher image and then position that, and then I'll go ahead and go up here to Edit and go to Free Transform and hold down the Shift key and resize that and position that where I want it on my image. That looks pretty good right there. Looking good. I can probably go a little bigger. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and double click on that to confirm that. Okay, we've got one more to do. I'm going to come up here to Window and come down here to Tiger. And let's go ahead and bring our tiger in. I'm just going to click on this image with the Move tool and drag it right over. And then I'll go over here and up to Edit, down here to Free Transform, and I'll go ahead and hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and just resize that image. Bring that down and move that up here to the top. I may go a little bit larger than that. I'm just gonna go ahead and just resize that just a little bit larger. Probably just go a little bit. That looks pretty good. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I like it. There we go. Okay. You can tell I'm a perfectionist. It's like I can never let go of the mouse. Like, let go of the mouse. It's okay. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go ahead and double click on that to confirm that. There we go. So now this doesn't really look very pretty, does it? This looks kind of like cheese ball. It doesn't really look like anything like this collage that we have over here. Okay. Well, that's what we're getting to next. So what I want you to do is we need to do let's go ahead and do one image at a time. Okay, I want you to go ahead over to the layers palette and I want you to make some of these animals invisible here. Let's just make everything invisible except the elephant. Okay, let's go ahead and start with that. The very first thing that I want you to do to make the elephant blend in with the Fisher image, we need to create a layer mask. I want you to click on the layer that contains the elephant image, which is right here. Okay, come down to the bottom of the layers palette and click on this button right here, create layer mask. You'll see a little white square come up here next to that layer, okay? I want you to make sure that that square, this mask here, is activated, which it should be right after you make it. So don't worry about that too much. Come over to the toolbar and we need to select a soft brush. Okay, I'm going to select the brush tool and we need to select a good size soft brush. I'm going to come up here to the brush preset picker, scroll down, and let's see, I'm going to click on 100. That looks pretty good. Let's see. I think that'll do it. I'm going to go just a little bit larger than that, maybe 200. There we go. Then next, we're going to want to paint black on white for this channel right here. We must do that in order to make this channel to work. And see, if I go in there and paint right now, it's really not going to do anything. We must set the foreground color to black, okay? Now, when I do that, now we're going to be painting black on white for this mask here on the layers palette. Okay, are you confused yet? Don't worry about it. Just follow my step-by-step instructions and you'll be okay. All right, I'm gonna come right over to the image, right next to the edge of the image on the elephant, and I'm gonna go ahead and just start painting. And you can start to see the elephant image start to blend in. Just like that, okay? Now you see what I'm talking about. This is how you do it, folks. This is how you do it, just like that. Look at that, how that just blends in, just like so. Now, we needed to do this for all the other images. So now all I have to do is just click on layer number 3 here, which contains my monkey. And then I'm going to go ahead and come down to the bottom of the layers palette and click on the new layer mask button right here, or add layer mask. And there we go. And I've already have my black set for the foreground color. That will not change until you change that foreground color. So I'm just going to come right over here and just start to paint on the edges of this image on my monkey over here. And now we can reveal the image. We reveal the fishermen in the background there. So there we go. I'm actually going to go ahead and make that brush a little bit larger, because the larger the brush it is, the more smooth and the more gradual the transition will be from the monkey to the image behind it. Do you see that? Look at that. So I'm just going to come over here and get that a little bit. And there we go. That's looking pretty cool. Okay, next we have this layer number 4, we have a zebra. This is cool. I'm actually going to make that zebra image just a little bit larger. I'm going to hold down the shift key and just load that up just a little so it stands out just a little bit more. There we go. That looks pretty cool. Wait a minute. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. I'm going to double click inside that transformation selection to confirm that. I'm going to go ahead to the bottom of the layers palette and add a new layer mask. There we go. We're doing the exact same thing. We're repeating the exact same thing as we go along here. I'm going to have my large 300 pixel size brush, and that's a soft brush, and I'm just going to come over to the image and start to paint. Okay? And now we can see through our image here. There we go. I'm actually going to go ahead and undo by going to, on the Mac, that's Option Z command, and the PC, that's Alt Control Z, and I'm just going to undo. See, so we can undo. If I do a swipe like that and I don't like it, I can actually undo that. Okay, so you're never really stuck. But I'm going to just go ahead and I don't want to take off too much on the image here just to make sure. I'm going to leave a little bit just in case I need to. But there we go. There we go. Looks like the zebra's in the water. But okay, so there you have it. Okay, really basic. I'm not going crazy here. This is just really basic steps. I'm going to come up here and click on layer number 5. That contains our tiger. All right. So all we have to do is add a layer mask to that layer by coming down here. There we go. And I'll just come over here and start to paint on this image, just like this. There we go. We don't need this big. this big log here sticking out. You don't really, if you don't want that, you just go ahead and paint over that. But you can follow along with me, okay? Just go ahead and go into the Creating Photo Collages folder, and you can go ahead and follow along with me and do the exact same thing that I'm doing here. So look at that. Check that out. Let's go ahead and look at the after. Wow, pretty close, huh? So you see how easy it was? You saw me do it right before your eyes, okay? This is how you can create photo collages in Photoshop. Now, there's a lot of ways to create different types of collages in Photoshop. This is just one of them. I like to do it this way. It gives me a lot more control. We are not actually erasing away the images, okay? When we're erasing away like this, we're not erasing the photo at all, okay? All we're doing basically is just erasing, or we're actually marking on the mask, okay? And by marking on the mask, we are only affecting the mask only, and that changes the way the layer looks, okay? Now, if I click on the layer directly, you see the little paintbrush change right here. Now, if I paint on it, now I'm painting right on the layer. That's permanently damaging, or I guess if you could call it damaging, but I'm permanently affecting the image on that layer, and we don't want to do that, okay? So that is why we use the layer masks, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get on here. All right, so that's looking pretty cool there. Looking pretty cool. Okay, now there's one more thing. I want to add this photo filter. What the photo filter does is actually blends all the elements in the photo collage together, okay? And you can see on our end result here, you see how the color and everything blends in? Let me show you how to do this. All you have to do is have the topmost layer selected, and then come down here to the bottom of the layers palette, and I want you to select photo filter, okay? And when you do that, you'll have a little photo filter. You have some filters here to choose from. I'm going to go ahead and turn up the density. And I'm turning up the density with the warming filter. Now, you don't have to use the warming filter. You can use the next one down, which is warming filter 81. And then you have a cooling filter as well. But you know what? For outdoor type stuff, the warming filter looks pretty cool. But if you want to go ahead and do some sepia toning, you can go ahead and select the sepia tone. You see that? And I can go ahead and turn the density up all the way. I actually think that's what I did for this image, is that I used the sepia tone. So anyways, I like that. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Let's go ahead and minimize this out of the way. So you can see we've applied the sepia tone to that image right there. I'm going to go ahead and add my text. I can click on the type tool and then click on the image to get the cursor. And I'm just going to put The Wild, okay? And then I'm going to double click on that type layer to select the type. After that, I'm going to come up here and select, let's see, what is it? What did I use? It's like that, here we go, Zapfino, there we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and select that, or change that color to white. And just select the move tool and position that right there. And I think the last thing I did, actually added a little glow behind the wild. You can see, I think I got the type a little different, but you know, you kind of get the idea. That's really basically all you do. I can make that a little larger by going to 36 point, and there we go. I'll select the move tool, position that type right there. I can come up here to layer style, and add a layer style, or I can actually double click right next to the type layer's name. And when I do that, it brings up the layer styles. That's pretty cool. So I can actually come in here to outer glow and add an outer glow around that. I might want to go a little darker though, because the text is light. I might want to go darker around the text. That way it shows up. I'm going to just change this blending mode to normal. I'm going to increase the opacity. I'm going to change the spread just a little bit. There we go, just to make that text stand out there a little bit more. So there you go. So that is how we can create some really cool photo collages in Photoshop. If you've ever wanted to know, that's a really fast, easy way to do it. And so you can really go out there and impress your family and friends, you know, with this technique, because it's a really useful thing when we have layer masks and things like that. Really makes it easy for us to just go in there and blend things together and really make them look cool. So have fun with that. We'll see you on the next video.